Hello, everyone. Welcome to a healing circle with Elderberry flower essence. Tonight we're going to talk about the plant lore, and we'll have an invocation, and we'll also channel some messages from Elderberry. So welcome. This healing series is designed for anyone who is feeling especially heavy-hearted right now, which may be a lot of us considering the state of the world, but also anyone who has seasonal affective disorder. This flower essence can support you as you work with your doctor, with your therapist, with your nutritionist. Whatever help you need can be supported and bolstered by elderberry flower essence. And a lot of people don't know how helpful flower essences can be. And they can be very subtle, and they can have very, very powerful effects on our emotions, on our attitudes and moods, and our energy, the ability to get things done, the ability to interact with people with generosity and compassion and with kindness. Flower essences can help us heal in so many ways. So I hope that you'll try to explore flower essences as a healing modality. It's one of my absolute favorite things to offer my clients because it is so helpful. And tonight I've made some slides so you have something to look at besides me, right? Where's my cursor? I added a monitor and I don't always know where things are on here. Okay. All right. So yes, if you are looking for a healing circle with elderberry flower essence and me, Daphne Gilman, you're in the right place. We're going to talk about the lore. We're going to invoke the energy of elderflower, and we're going to channel messages from this beautiful plant spirit. As I was saying last week, in last Friday's Healing Circle, plants are multidimensional spirits, right? They have a physical presence on the planet just like we do, and they have a spiritual component just as we do. So they are our friends and elders on this planet. They care for us. They provide us with so many things. Elderflower is a very important flavoring in a lot of dishes and wines and syrups, and the berries themselves also have so many physical components that are healthful for us. But we are going to work with the spirit of elderflower. And one of the things that I love to do is include photos of the plants, because even the vibration level of the plants can be transmitted through gazing at images of them. If you just soften your gaze and look at the deep purple and deep magenta of the stems of elderberry, the ripe berries that we get in the fall, just gazing at it can have tremendous benefit on our nervous system and on our mental state. And the flowers, which look like little stars, and they're clustered together in galaxies, as above, so below. They're just beautiful. Hi, Roslyn. So glad you're here. Oh, pop up your hello. Hello. So glad you're here. So the plants have been, trees in particular, have been on the planet a lot longer than human beings. And it's as if they came before us to prepare a place for us, right? Think about the oxygen that we must breathe. That is created by the plants. Plants take in the carbon dioxide that we exhale, and they create and give back the beautiful oxygen that we must have to survive. And when you gaze at trees, you can sometimes get a sense of their strength, their ancient qualities, the information that they have gathered as they have observed the planet for millennia. It's just one of the things that never fails to impress me and to give me hope, because the trees have been here a long time and they care for us, they care about us. And tonight we're going to talk about the lore around elderberry. And a lot of people will say, well, what does that matter? Who cares whether there's, old folk tales about a plant? Well, we have a very ancient relationship with this plant. And there is ancestral and indigenous wisdom that's encoded in our DNA, right? I don't have the science to prove that, but I will say that we have evolved with these plants. We have taken their fruit and flowers into our physical systems and built our bodies with it over millennia. So how can that information in those plants, how can the light that those plants gathered and turned into food and drink for us, how can that not affect us physically? Of course it's going to. And our studying the lore of a plant affects our modern understanding of elder and could lead us to clues about other things to look at. We're very focused on looking at plants through a scientific lens. What are the active components? Where is the research showing how it is helping people or doesn't have an effect at all? So many plants have taught us how to use them, and deriving the full benefit of the physical, emotional, and spiritual relationship we have with a plant, I think must take into account the lore of the plant. Because as we deepen our relationship with nature, as we come to understand the plants better and how we partner on this planet, how we are in relationship on this planet, I think is going to be key as we move forward dealing with climate change, dealing with plant migrations. As the climate changes, plants are moving up in altitude, they're moving northward, they're disappearing altogether. We're going to need every bit of knowledge that we can gather about plants to understand how to work together and to make this world livable in the future. So in my opinion, that's why the lore matters more than ever. And yeah, it can seem silly to think of folk tales about a plant and look at the plant in our present circumstances, and you wonder about the conclusion that our ancestors drew from their lived experience with those plants. I guarantee you, your ancestors could walk through their local forest and they could tell you everything about every plant that mattered to them, whether it was useful for food, whether it was useful for animals, whether it was useful for making something that they needed. It's really, our ancestors were not dumb. They were brilliant and they had workable technologies. They didn't have electronics like we do. They didn't have the benefit of fossil fuels to power their industry and their travel, but they had other technologies, and I have incredible respect for what they learned about their world. So elderberry trees have a reputation for being protective, and we know that the elderberry syrup that you can buy for your coughs or your immune system is protecting you from illness. And it's also said to protect us from misfortune and kidnapping, right? So misfortune could be as a result of illness, but there are rules, right? Our relationship with elderberry has rules. You're not supposed to harvest any part of the plant or the tree without permission. You're not supposed to burn the wood. You're not supposed to bring the wood into your home, and you're not supposed to sleep beneath the tree. So these sound like behavioral issues, but there are probably very, very good reasons for it. For instance, the uncooked berries have toxic compounds in them. They have to be cooked before we can safely eat them. Does burning the wood release those same toxins? I don't know. Maybe that's why these rules exist, right? And maybe the toxicity means you don't bring it into your home because children and pets could harm themselves. And you don't sleep beneath the tree because perhaps the toxic components in the tree are breathed in by a person and you can fall into a deep sleep and you're not safe. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know enough about the lore. I haven't talked to my ancestors about this, about this particular plant, but I respect the old rules because they have a real foundation of truth beneath them. Now, the elderberry is also called the musical tree, and because the branches have a soft center, they have this soft pith, it's easy to hollow them out and to make flutes, whistles, and pipes. And the material in the center of the branch is fed to cattle to protect their health as well. I'm not sure how people discovered that, but that is one way that people use it. So the tree has given us another gift, the gift of music. Elderberry trees are also said to protect us from mischievous fairies. And people have feelings about fairies, but I will tell you, I have literally seen them with my eyes awake, driving, traveling through a forest. These are not figments of our imagination. And our ancestors knew and respected fairies because they had experiences with them and they had incidents where they needed to know the rules. So fairies in particular that are related to plants are said to protect the plant, right? It's there to teach us about the plant. It's there to protect the plant's growth habits and to prevent misuse of the land and of the plant itself. This whimsical picture is one of my favorites. It's by an artist named Cicely Mary Barker. She was an English woman born in 1895, I think. And her estate has a beautiful website and they sell, merchandise with her imagery on it. And they're just truly delightful. I don't know if that's what the fairies in England look like. I know that the ones that I have seen do not look quite so human, right? It can be very startling, but we share this planet with a lot of beings and we don't necessarily even know. Some of you may not have ever considered the fact that plants have spirits and consciousness, but you can absolutely have a conversation with a plant. And you can have a conversation or an interaction with all sorts of beings on this planet. One of my favorite pieces of lore about the elderberry tree is what's called the Elder Mother. This print is from 1932 by Arthur Rackham, and this print is held in the collections at the Victoria and Albert Museum in London. And I think it was an illustration for a Hans Christian Andersen tale about a sick little boy who is cared for by the elder mother, who gives him tea, and that's why there's a little teapot down there, and helps him distract him from his illness, right? And this is from a time when we did not have antibiotics. We didn't have a lot of medications that we have now. So people who were ill really suffered and need a lot of care and support. And so this story about the elder mother, the feminine spirit of the elderberry, caring for this little boy who had an illness, right? Like if you think about the elderberry syrup that we take when we have a cough, that is a gift from the feminine, generous spirit of the elderberry plant, the elder mother. And I really, really love that image of the feminine spirit of that plant. It's very caring, it's very giving, it's very beautiful, right? The trees themselves are just beautiful. So now that we've talked a little bit about the lore and we've gone beyond just the physical, medicinal, and traditional uses of the plant, and we've touched on some of the more mystical, spiritual aspects of it, I would like to take a moment now to relax into our meditation before I bring in the spirit of elderberry. And I'd love for you to just relax wherever you are. I like to put my hand over my heart to remind myself to breathe through the heart chakra with appreciation and gratitude. These are emotions that lift your vibrational level. And this form of breathing in, very relaxed, 4, 5, 6, and exhaling, slightly longer exhale, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 5, 6, 7. Breathing in and out, feeling your shoulders relax, feeling a little shift in your brain. It's almost like a door opens and your brain and your heart come into coherence, which is very healing and helpful for the nervous system. Breathing in and out. And now I ask you to connect with me heart to heart. It's safe to do so in this sacred healing circle. We're protected by elderberry, the spirit of elderberry. I'm putting a drop of the flower essence in my hand. And I'm going to share this etherically through the quantum field with you. And if you could just welcome it, just feel the soft energy. It's almost like a really soft, light cloak that surrounds you. And if you're taking the flower essence, you can also put it on your chakras. You can put it on your heart. I just love the energy of this flower essence. It's so kind. So now I would like to invoke the spirit of this plant for our benefit. We now ask for beneficial connection with the plant spirit of elderberry tree within this protective healing circle. We ask for the blessing of elder's unique energetic properties as we take the flower essence internally, externally, or etherically for its support during these darkest days of the year. If we bring heavy hearts, if we bring sorrow and fears, if we bring lethargy and dullness, we welcome Elder's brimming chalice of light, the dissolution of shadows, the lifting of our spirits as the sun returns. In this quiet moment, see if you can feel into the energy of this plant, of this beautiful flower essence. It's a gentle energy. It's very light and subtle. And there is a very comprehensive strength to this plant spirit. There's great confidence in the good that elderberry can do us. And the dichotomy between the bright white flowers that look like stars and the deep purple berries that remind you of a moonless night. Elderberry is showing us a balance between the brightest days of summer and the darkest, longest nights of the year, and how they're both proper in their place, how the earth needs both a time of growth and a time of rest, how we need a time of rest and days of growth. And I'm seeing elderberry and humans acknowledging their friendship, like people dancing around the elderberry bushes, the elderberry trees as they grow. Just the energy around the plant is lighthearted and infectious. And when people come across them, they might be inspired to dance. And of course, there's lots of tales about fairies dancing around elderberries. So I'm seeing human beings celebrating the flowers, dancing around it, looking forward to the berries in the autumn, and through looking forward to the elderberry wine, to the elderflower syrup that they use to flavor foods. They're looking forward to using a branch to make a musical instrument. They're looking forward to the rest period of winter when the farming is done and the harvest is collected. And elderberry is a tree for every day of the year. And it's referencing our long relationship together and how it welcomes modern people to connect with it and to enjoy its spirit. It has such a beautiful vibration level. It's quite elevated. And if you can feel into the energy of this plant, of the flower essences, especially the etheric version that I sent out. And it doesn't matter whether you're watching this live or whether you accept this during as you watch a recording. It transcends time and space, as so much of our work in the quantum field does. You can take a breath. Let your shoulders relax. And just test it. How is this energy affecting you? What's happening with your heart, with your mood? Do you feel calm and confident that days will get brighter and things will get better and better days will come? That's what I feel. It's almost like a bridge across the depths of despair, right? Of feeling like things will never get better. And so many people feel a letdown after the holidays, and they feel that it's a long time before they can celebrate something joyful, and they don't see a way forward, right? And as I said, flower essences are wonderful to support you when you're working with a mental health professional, if you're working with a doctor, if you are working with a nutritionist. There are a lot of ways to heal and get the help that you need. And elderberry has long studied humanity and has seen us through all of our ages, right? Seen us through farming and seen us through the Industrial Revolution. It has seen us through modernity. And even as we casually glance at a hedgerow and think of plants as serviceable or an eyesore, right? And all the time we're walking around blind to the multidimensional characteristics of the plants around us. It's okay. They understand. And they're there to welcome us anytime we're ready to open our eyes and to engage in a relationship with a plant in all of its totality, right? Its spiritual aspect, its multidimensional nature, its deep roots in our history as a species on this planet. Elderberry was there before you were born. Elderberry will hold your hand your entire life whenever you need to be reminded of the light. What a beautiful message from Elderberry. Thank you. If we bring heavy hearts, if we bring sorrows and fears, if we bring lethargy and dullness, we welcome Elder's brimming chalice of light, the dissolution of shadows, the lifting of our spirits as the sun returns. Just gazing at this tree just can be so comforting, right? And the beautiful flowers and the beautiful fruit that comes from the tree. All of it is supportive of human life and human happiness. I hope you've enjoyed spending time with Elderberry. We'll be doing this every Friday in January. Some teachers call this a plant diet when you work with a plant over the course of a few weeks. With flower essences, clients often use it for 2 to 6 weeks daily. 4 drops 4 times a day is sort of the classic prescription. And if you take notes of how you feel at the beginning of working with a plant and how you feel during and after, some really remarkable things can happen. I hope that you will take some time for yourself just to take your internal temperature, make some notes about how you're feeling, make some notes about any ideas or insights you may have received as we worked with the flower essence during the invocation of Elderberry's energy. And I give my heartfelt thanks to Elderberry Flower Essence for coming in and sharing such beautiful, supportive, confident strength. We will get through this. We have a lot of help and a lot of support, and I hope you feel that. I hope you're experiencing it. It's one of the most beautiful things we can do to take care of ourselves, especially if you're a sensitive person and intuitive, somebody who's suffering through the awakening as we look at the world around us and realize that things aren't exactly what we thought they were like. Okay? The plants are here for us, and they have been true and supporting us forever. Before we came here on this planet, the plants were paving the way for us. Thank you, everyone. And with that, I will close this healing circle. Clean and clear. Your energy goes back to you. My energy goes back to me. Everything is clean and clear and protected. And thank you for sharing this blessing of Elderberry with me. Good night, everyone. See you next Friday.